guys, we are back with Messy on Purpose, and I have Peter here with me today who's going to give you a little introduction and background on him, and then we're going to dive into some of the messy middle and how he's grown through it.
Thank you so much for having me on. I'm super excited. A little bit about myself. My name is Peter Ho. I'm actually originally from Hawaii, the beautiful islands of Hawaii, but actually now live in SoCal. Actually, when I moved to California, I actually started my journey in Northern California. I've been in California for 3 years. Yes, it's been 3 years. I had to do my math a little bit.
Oh, I have
It's
to
a
do that
three
too.
year yeah. And then I just moved down to SoCal back in October of last year. Wanted to start a really new chapter of my life. But what I do besides moving a lot, I guess, and surfing the waters and riding dolphins to school is what people say, and living on a hut. Um, is I'm actually a health and wellness coach, and I help people balance their hormones, and also do global franchise development. So that's what I really focus on. Besides that, the side thing I'd like to do and enjoy to do is I'm actually a tennis coach, and I focus on high performance tennis coaching and mental sport coaching. So that's what I do. Yeah.
All right. So, where do you want to start? Where did the big change start? Should we start with like Hawaii and then kind of move into what brought you to California?
Yeah, honestly, Hawaii is always beautiful, guys. I'm born and raised there, such a beautiful state. But I want to grow as a person, as one, and I want to be more independent. And also, I've reached my career of a tennis coach there way further than a lot of people think. And so,
How long
oh,
have
and
you Oh, sorry.
go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
How long have you been a tennis coach? So you've been doing that since before you moved to California?
Yeah, this is my 11th year coaching
Oh,
uh,
wow.
as a tennis coach. Yeah, I started right after high school at 17. I'm turning 28 next month. Well, next month. And like actually less than 30 days from now. Um, but I've been such a big tennis coach. I've been such a tennis fanatic. Growing up, I actually never had coaching at all, but somehow I wanted to really give back to the community and started coaching. And so that's the reason why I did that. But going back to why I did tennis was the story was actually I started tennis long ago at 5, but I was in a class full of girls. So what happened was, according to my grandpa, is that I thought it was a very girly, sissy sport, so I quit and into swimming. But when he passed away back in 2010, that's when I decided, like, okay, hey, I want to have a memory of him with me at all times. So I decided, let's go back to tennis. Played tennis through high school, was captain of my high school team junior senior year, and then end up deciding to coach to kind of really remember him in a certain way. And then once I got to the highest point of my career in Hawaii, which I was a high development coach, college coach already, assistant director, I was like, I needed more. I wanted more. And so I decided to somehow follow a girl to California. And that's actually how I end up being the youngest tennis director in the whole United States at 23. So I have achieved that goal. Did I really enjoy what I did as a tennis director? Working for corporate is a whole different story. And I don't like to be in the greedy aspect of it. I like to help people out. So when greed came to play and when I started them from scratch, from ground zero, negative to being positive every month, and they wanted more. I'm like, why? Like, what's going on? Like, why do I want more of this? So it really got me to like quit doing that. I actually almost quit coaching entirely. Um, so it's a very interesting story towards that. But with that girl that I moved over here, it was a good push, a nudge. It wasn't like my actual reason why I moved to California. So that's what it is.
Okay. So you said you moved to Northern California, kind of like way north, or are you talking like San
The Bay.
Francisco North? The Bay.
The Bay Area.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I actually just like we just did a trip like way north, and I was like, there's not much up there. So
Oh, I was in the Bay Area, so not too bad. I mean, not too bad. So now I'm in LA, right? So I'm in like South California, like LA. So it's really nice. It's a really nice change.
do you like SoCal a little bit more?
I would say SoCal has a mixture of Northern Cal and Hawaii mixed together. Like you get the competitive like experience, but also like, hey, I'm gonna chill back a little bit and drink a Mai Tai at the beach kind of thing. Um, but yeah, I get that feeling. But honestly, food wise, I gotta say SoCal has the food. In terms of Asian
Really?
food, it's there, yeah.
I've always heard good things about, like, the Bay Area. I've only been to one restaurant there, but
I would say, like, the bang for your buck is what I call it, like, SoCal has it all. Like, you're getting the worth of it. Like, in the Bay, you get the high-end experience, but I feel like, yes, I like the fine dining once in a while, but in terms of, like, enjoying food, which I'm a foodie, I gotta say 100%. If anyone tells me that I can't enjoy my food while losing weight, they're wrong because I've done it amazingly, without, like, the calorie deficit, without going to the gym, and without, like, starving myself and still enjoy the food I eat. Like, you ever see me eat? I'm a monster, like, so that's what it is.
oh, I feel you. I'm a huge foodie too. Me and my husband, that's definitely one of our, like, hobbies, I would say.
Can't go wrong with the large Starbucks right there too. I'm like, "Oh,
Oh,
coffee."
actually, it's just a Starbucks cup. It has cold brew and,
Oh.
Fairlife milk in it, so
Oh, I see, I see. I was like, "Wow, she really set up herself today with a cup of coffee."
no, I didn't have time to go to Starbucks, but I make my own. It's just a cup I had.
There we go.
So 1, I'm gonna have to get some food recommendations from you for LA. We go there quite a bit, so we're always looking for new places to try, especially Asian food, because you just never
I
know.
got
Like, so, okay. So you said you've done the coaching. Um, which like, I'm sorry, what was the other career path that you took? It was
Yeah,
global.
I'm a global entrepreneur. I help people balance their hormones and lose weight in a
Okay.
very natural way. So I'm a holistic health and wellness coach. I'm also a kinesiologist on top of that. And I help people really balance their hormones, especially as we go through our days. I'm not sure how your day goes, but some days have stressful days. Some days we like to stress eat. Some days we like to stress starve. And the cool part about what I do is I we have these things called the body balancing drops. It's also known as the skinny drops because it helps people lose weight. That's a side effect of it. It's like, hey, you lose all that cortisol levels, you balance all that hormones in your body, and all of a sudden your body just detox itself. It's doing the work itself to lose weight. So a lot of people are losing half a pound a day to a pound, every 3, depending on how your body really regulates. But imagine being inflamed, like your face, your body, like being inflamed. Like, I'm not gonna lie, since April, I looked like it was funny. My friend was talking about like what I looked like in April was I looked like Igor, Shrek, and Baymax had a baby. So imagine like that puffy face, that puffy body, and we're like, are you kidding me? Like, dude, you work for a health and wellness company, and you look like that? Like, and you're a tennis coach, And it ran through my mind. It's like, if I had a kid, would I trust this guy to teach my kid because he can't run or he has no energy? So I decided to go back on the program because I did this 5 years ago. I decided to go back on the program. Until this day, I came from 254 to now 206 this morning. So without like starving, without like calorie deficit, without like going like not hardcore gym. Like I do go to the gym because I do enjoy like the dopamine from the gym to like build that muscle and that structure for myself. So that's what I'm doing now is sculpting my body because I'm losing weight so fast and I'm like there's extra skin everywhere and sometimes it makes me feel like I shouldn't be having extra skin because I'm young and yeah, I don't want to go there, but it's like you go to the gym to like really sculpt your body. So that's what it is.
Well, I mean, when you put on the extra weight, you're gonna have extra skin, right? It's
Yeah.
gotta hold it somewhere.
Yeah.
So
I look down, I'm like, "Oh my god, like, was I this fat before?" Like, but but,
so, what got you to that point to where you were like, "Wow, take I took this too far. I need to do something."
um, I started I'm competing again for tennis, so I'm still competing. I'm not, like, out of the competition realm. I still play semi-pro there and there, but I noticed I got tired super fast. So I noticed number one thing is my energy level was low. Like, I would come to kids, be super annoyed with them, like, "Go run!" Like, it's like they could see it, right? Number 2 is
Yeah.
because I damaged my knees 5 years ago, that's actually when I first started to go on top of this, was uh my orthopedic told me like, dude, like your knees are so screwed up right now. And like either quit tennis or you lose weight. And I needed to find a solution. But plus, on the top of that, imagine being 20, if anyone's out there, imagine being 20 years old and having pre-diabetes, pre-cholesterol, and hypertension all in one. That was like a wake-up call, right? It's like, okay, well, I don't want to die early and I need to find a solution. And that's when, like, yes, I went to the gym. Yes, I like tried to starve myself, but it just didn't work. Like I kept going back to the weight, back to like the yo-yo effect. And so this opportunity came to me where I was able to try it. The first time I was like, I'm so skeptical because, as you probably don't know, the supplement industry is not regulated. And so the things you find at GNC, Vitamin Shop, Costco, CVS, Walgreens, etc., aren't regulated. And so I was like so skeptical. I was like, okay, this must be a scam or something like that. But then I realized when I looked over to the company and what the company has, it has 30 third-party testings, everything's clinical studies, and they are created in an FDA-approved facility. So you can't go wrong with that. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna give this a try. The first time I went from 260 to 225 5 years ago. But now I really want to get to my high school weight, which is 185. So I went from 254 in April to now 206 right now, and I'm still going. So
How tall
yeah,
are you?
I'm 5'9".
Okay, okay, so you're not, like, super tall either, so that
I'm
makes
short.
sense.
Like when I
Yeah.
was fat, I looked like an Oompa Loompa. Like I mean Humpty Dumpty. Sorry, Humpty Dumpty. My bad. Wrong one. Humpty Dumpty. That's how I felt like. Right. Like I was like this. Like I felt like I was off balance. Like I felt like if I did fall down, I would probably crack something. Like That's how I felt. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes a big difference when you list weight on, like, what your height is, right? Because if, like, you're
Right.
6'6", but you're 200 pounds, like, that's different than 5'9".
It is. I wish I was my brother's size 6'2", and I'll be fine with this weight. But no, honestly, I feel like I really want to lose more because one, I do represent a health and wellness company, and two, I'm also a tennis coach. So I want to be able to look apart from all the other tennis coaches out there. Like I've seen tennis coach who are a little bit on the heavier side. I'm like, dude, if I had a kid, I'm sorry, not to be disrespectful, as good as you are, I just don't think you would give my kid the direction it needs. Because if you can't take care of
Yeah.
yourself, how are you gonna take care of my kids, right? So that's how.
I wouldn't hire a fat coach.
There
I'm
we go.
good. Honestly, like, what are they gonna teach me?
Right.
Bad
Any
habits?
sport, like, any sports, right? Any sports, any personal gym, right? Like, it's like if they don't look apart, like why would you trust them, right? Just like how I'm doing my health and wellness business and coaching. If I don't look apart or if I don't look like a health and wellness person, then how would you trust me, right? So that's how
Yep.
I kind of look at it.
Yeah, you have to play the part. It's been like this no matter what industry you're with, right? If you are in Wall Street, you gotta dress like Wall Street. Like, if you're in health and fitness, you gotta be fit and, like, we've gotten away from that to the point where, like, I feel like you do see more, like, health people not looking healthy, but
Yeah.
selling health, and that's not health.
It's not at all, and I'm sorry, like, I feel ashamed when it comes to that area, and as someone who's been fat shamed and name called, like, I swear, I think the biggest name call I had was like, "You look like Peter Griffin," and I was like, like, I
In
get
a way, that one might be kind of a compliment because
I
that's
know,
kinda
I was like
funny.
I was like in a way, I was like, you really think I'm that famous? But at the same time, I definitely know, he had the no neck and he had the saggy chin, and I was like, "You know what? Like, I'm just gonna work harder on myself." And actually that's what fired me up to go to the gym even more to sculpt where my body is right now. Like, I actually never had a six pack in my life. So, I'm actually
It's very important to,
getting
like,
there
build up
soon.
that resistance training.
Yeah. So, that's what it is.
So, you wanna get back into competing or you're competing right now?
I'm competing right now, but I'm
Okay,
actually aiming for higher right now. So I can't really talk about it. So I want to like manifest a little bit more, but next year might be the year where I want to try something even higher and get to a higher level. So we'll see where that goes.
that's cool. So what does that path look like?
It's a
So,
lot of
like, to excel, basically. Do you just have to, like, win so much or, like, is there, like, kind of, like, different things different divisions you have to, like, compete in? Like, how does that work?
I think the biggest aspect for me first is the weight drops Because if I can't drop weight or I don't look fit or I'm not fit enough to run around the court, there's just no way that's ever going to happen. That's why I'm actually working on my fitness so heavily right now. But there is different divisions, but I'm planning to go back to Asia, which I'm actually Vietnamese, and go back to Vietnam and try to represent Vietnam at something called the Davis Cup. So I have to go over there and compete and try out and see how that goes. And hopefully, um, the big intake of that is to be able to play that in the professional level. So it's exciting. It's really exciting. But I feel like
Yeah.
once I lose that weight, I definitely, I'm still training. So I still train. I still focus on that. Like also, it comes to like my weight, my fitness level, and I feel like that's the biggest aspect for me right now.
So what is your plan when it comes to your fitness goal?
Um, we have our amazing drops. I gotta say, these are the most amazing thing ever. It keeps me very on track with what I eat, because it's a lifestyle change. I don't believe in diets. I really don't. I believe in a lifestyle change, and we have to go back to our old, back in the generation self is eating whole foods, making sure that you're eating clean. Yes, I do cheat. I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. I do cheat, but the cool part about these drops, it gets you back on track to where you're at, like where you want to get to. So that's really part of it. And then going to the gym and working on my mobility. I do have a torn rotator cuff, so I'm trying to strengthen my shoulders so that I can be able to compete in the longer run. So really building up towards a fitness level of like making sure that I have a stronger core, stronger legs, so I'm able to like have more mobility on the court. So it's a very long process, but I'm pretty close to it. Like I'm what 206. I'm like 21 away from my actual weight goal, and I'm still running. My logistic of it is I still go to the gym, I still walk every single day, and I slowly work my stamina endurance and to build that for the matches.
So I'm a health and fitness nut too. I do coaching as well. And so I will say when it comes to supplements and things like that, very skeptical. I don't use a whole lot. I don't even recommend a whole lot. So what is so special about your drops? Explain what they do exactly because it's very big, right? Like you're
Right.
saying that they help, but like what do they actually do?
So the cool part of it is it's all natural form. So it goes back to using your roots, your flowers, your trees, and going back to the old days where we're using herbal medicine as a way to recover our bodies. And the biggest aspect of what these drops do, especially Senrex, it helps lower your cortisol levels. It helps you with your hunger levels. So like every time you feel like you're hungry, but you're really not, and you tend to like stress eat, it helps with that. It helps with your thyroid level also. The other part is the accelerate. Since there's two drops, the accelerate is the natural vitamin B booster to boost your energy up throughout the day. So it really helps with your energy level and your metabolism. So that's the best part of these drops. Is
So what
really
is the benefit of taking those versus just kind of a proper diet and getting the proper nutrition from the foods you eat and other vitamins?
I feel like this actually has vitamins in it too, but in terms of vitamins you buy from GNC Vitamin Shop, it's not potent, right? It's not. There's no backing to it, and you don't know what you're exactly putting in your body because of that. But you can go on a diet, right? But how long can you go on a diet for? That's the biggest
But
aspect.
dieting is so skewed now, right? Like we look at
Yeah,
diet like that word as like a specific diet. That doesn't mean anything. Technically, I have a very simple diet, right? Like I stick with whole foods. I do that, right? That's still a diet, but I'm
right,
not dieting, which is different.
right.
So looking at it that way, as this is my lifestyle, I eat healthy foods. Why would I need to take those drops?
And it's to help balance your hormones internally. Like you can eat all the foods you want, you can eat all that nutrients you want, but is it enough to really help your body? Like I think I did a study earlier about like I think it was bananas or something like that, where you have to eat 23 bananas to really get that potassium that you need for your body. So this really helps with that organic internally organic, letting your body producing the hormones that it needs to really calm everything down. So like your cortisol levels or your hunger levels, it makes your body produce it itself and helps your body do that without the foods that you're eating. Yes, we can eat the foods. I do agree. I do agree with that. But I feel like foods are not enough. You have to eat one part, like a lot of it for your body to really absorb that nutrients or vitamins that you need.
I mean, but there are other, like, vitamins you can get that are legit. You know what I mean? Like, I get, like, a lot of stuff is kinda junk, but there are legit vitamins as well. So that being said, what would make something like a good vitamin versus these drops?
That's I like that question. I do like that question. I think the biggest part is, yes, there is good vitamins out there. I do agree. If there's backing to it, right? Like, okay, hey, like,
Mhm.
tell me about what the vitamins do, because we have vitamins too. Like, I'll be honest, I have my magnesium right here. um, but um, the drops really, the difference between the drops and the vitamins, it's absorbs faster in your body because all it is a liquid drop that goes under your tongue, and because under your tongue absorbs all that vitamin faster, it actually produces and helps your body absorbs a lot faster too. So that's the biggest part with the drops in the vitamin. The vitamins will take a long time because it has to produce everything you eat and digest everything you eat for it to produce that vitamin to go around your absorption. So that's what it is.
And so you said it suppresses hunger. How does that work in comparison to something like Ozempic?
One, it's natural. Ozempic, I know that has clinical. I was looking at the clinical studies because I was talking to a doctor about this. Um, and Ozempic, a lot of people feel like Ozempic, you can eat anything and you just keep shooting it in your body. And I realized that a lot of people that took it, like in my own personal journey and my personal friends, had side effects of it. They'll get off of it and they'll gain all that weight back, or they have kidney problems or liver problems due to Ozempic just because they're like, "Oh yeah, I want to eat all I want," and then they shoot it, and then a lot of them overdose on it. So it's just technically our drops is the natural Ozempic where there's no side effects. It's all natural compared to Ozempic, which is a Western medicine chemically bound for your body to really absorb and extract, and it can affect your kidney or your liver or even your small and large intestines from the chemicals that it has.
So when it comes to so the first thing you mentioned was the fact that they stop it and then they gain all the weight back. That is actually a habit. They were
Right.
eating less because they were told their body was being told that they're not hungry. They didn't
Right.
actually develop the habit and eating right and the right amounts and knowing what is what when it comes to the amounts of food that they're eating.
Correct.
So how does that play into these drops? Like if you're not learning those habits, you stop these drops, the same thing would happen.
I actually never had the issue of gaining weight back after I lost his drops. Um, but the only weight I gained back was because of stress in my life because I stopped the drops. So because the drops help with your stress level and dropping your cortisol levels, your body doesn't absorb that visceral fat and put it everywhere in your body. So when you're on these drops, yes, you're changing your lifestyle. You're changing, like, you're eating whole foods, you're eating cleaner. It kind of forces your mindset to like, okay, hey, I can, what is it called? I have to eat clean for these drops to work. And I also don't crave sugar either. So it's like it's a
But in a contrast to that, that
yeah,
might be how you take it, but think of your
yeah,
general public, right? Most people will try anything to get a fast, quick fix. They wanna lose that 20 pounds and they wanna lose it now, right? So whatever
yeah,
does it the fastest, that's what they're gonna try, and if you tell them this drops or what's gonna do it, that's what they're gonna try. But they
yeah,
don't actually ever learn the skill of, like, 1, eating healthy, 2, learning how much to eat, how little to eat, what is actually in something, like, so tracking your food, how much protein is in a chicken breast, how much carbs are in a
right.
cup of rice, or, like, your snack foods and how much is in those, so, like, they don't learn those things by taking this quick fix, and yes, you might have already, like, been developing that in that mind frame, but most people will not automatically do that no matter what the drug is, no matter how much they pay for it, because they pay for something for it to work. And a good example is so personal training. People will sign up for personal training. All we give them as personal trainers is the plan, right? The
Yeah,
tools they need to do the job. But I can't make them do the work.
right.
You can't make them do the work. Same with fixing your mindset. I can give you all the tools in the world, but unless you use them, I can't fix your mindset. And so giving them these drops doesn't necessarily fix that. So how would you say they should like somebody could adjust when doing that, or how do you go about it in your coaching?
So we have one accountability groups. We make sure once they do get the drops, we put them in a accountability group. Like I said, we give them the tools, right? The second, it's getting more personal with them, giving daily check-ins, weekly check-ins of what they eat. And the beginning, they're gonna be like, "Oh, can I eat this? Can I eat that?" Like they're gonna play around with the food, just like how all of us do when we go on diets and are dieting. Is that we tend to play around with foods, but with the drops, it's not just, oh, I'm going to give you the drops and you're on your own. It's here, I'm giving you the drops. You'll get the accountability group, you get the coaching, you'll get the tools, you get the support group that we have. And then you'll see other people do the same thing. And I really kind of in your head, you're like, oh, well, if they can do it too, I can do it too. So it's almost like a monkey see, monkey do aspect of it. And that's why I've learned what the drops like. Okay, if that person can lose weight on the drops and they're eating clean and they're enjoying the food that they're doing, especially because our group has a like almost a cookbook kind of thing where we give out recipes, we give out ingredients, and they're almost like it's all clean. So it kind of opens them up to like, oh, buying buying food outside, going home and cooking it, and really learning how to cook it, but also there's directions to it. And the food always looks good. So we always make sure that when we show people how to cook, we take a picture of the food to make sure it looks good, and then we give them the recipes for it. So yeah.
So how do you handle somebody who doesn't take that well? So there's people that don't cook, won't cook. You have people that are super picky. You have people that just literally do not want to change their habits. How do you handle that?
I think it takes one, it's definitely going to take time. As much as we want to change someone over the night, I know we can't. Um, but the more they're on in the support group, which I've learned is and through my journey as an entrepreneur and as a coach, is the more someone else does it around them, especially in that support group, the more they want to slowly make the change. Of course, at the beginning, they're going to be picky, they're going to be skeptical, they're going to be like, is this really going to work? But once they really try it, once they see everyone do it, once they see everyone's results, then they're like, so what am I doing wrong? Like, what am I doing wrong? And that's when people start. That's what I've gotten to, where I had the same issue where people are like picky, skeptical. They're like, oh, I don't want to do this. I don't want to cook. And then they're seeing everyone who gets results around them. And they're like, okay, so what am I doing wrong here? What do I need to change? Right. And then from there, I build them up into making that new habits. So that's what I've learned through my coaching, um, of how I got people from that point A where they're like, I don't want to cook, I don't want to do this, to point B to like, oh, okay, like that's something I'm willing to try.
Who is not who, but is there like there's obviously, I mean, if you how long have you been doing this coaching?
I've been doing coaching for 5 years.
Okay, so definitely. You only have to do it for a short period of time to even have one. But there's got to be one difficult client that never made any change, ended up quitting. How did you handle that?
Oh, that I had people that quit on me. Yeah, I had a couple, I would say, but it's giving them, I would say, keeping in contact with them, and then as the journey goes on to other people, of course they're still going to be in the support group. Once they buy the drop, you're automatically in the support group. And I always ask them when they quit, like, hey, is it okay if I keep you up to date with other people's progress? I know your friends are on it because most of them is they I invite them and they invite the friends to join them, and then so I try to keep up with their friends too. So I really there I had people who quit and came back, but it's more of like let them quit and then let them find us another solution, which I let them do. Hey, you want to find another solution? That's totally fine. But know this, I'm always gonna be here for you. Like I always put that relationship first. I don't care about the business. I don't care about the product itself. I care about the relationship I have with that person. And then from there, if they do quit, I'm gonna support them in any way I can. So whatever they wanna find, whatever they wanna do and try to lose weight, that's on them. But I will support them. And then if they said, hey, now I'm stuck, like I'm hitting a plateau, I don't know what I'm doing. I've gained the weight because I have people who quit and gain the weight because they just I said habits, right? It goes back to habits. They love their McDonald's, and I think one of my podcasts I was on about talking about conveniency, how convenient it is to get all that fast food now. It's like I can go down the road and there's like 6 different fast food places right next to me. So it makes it easier, but I let the people quit. I do. I'm not gonna lie. I let the people quit. I don't force anyone. I don't pressure anyone, but I do support them as a friend, as a coach, or whatever they want me to support them as. It goes with my tennis world too. I had kids who quit on me because they think that, oh, going back to it. That coach is fat. Like, why would I need to take from that coach, right? It's like it's going back to that. And from there, really aspect of is okay, I lost the weight. I have kids who are excelling right now because as I lose the weight, I'm excelling too. So my kids see it, the energy level, and I'm excelling. So same thing with clients. I let them quit. I let them find their way. And then from there, if they can't find their way, and I check up on them every week just to like keep that connection, then they end up coming back. So I've noticed that when it comes to that.
Now, how do you take it personally when somebody falls off, they don't come back, they just quit?
To be honest, I used to take it so personally. I was like, oh man, I lost a client. But now I told myself I have to let it be what it be. I have to let it be what it is. And if they see my progress, which I feel like that's the biggest aspect of it right now, is people know I was fat. People body shame me. People said you're fat ass, like you eat a lot. Like I got that all. Like, but when people see my progress on what I've done and like I post, I keep being consistent with it. I keep being consistent with my social media, my Facebook, my Instagram. It doesn't hit me personally because now they're firing me up even more for me to work harder at what I'm doing, work harder on my body, and really showing people that the drop works. So I used to take it so personally. I used to be like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not sure if I could swear on this podcast, but I used to be like, F you, like you no, no, okay, I didn't go that far. I didn't go that far, but it was in my head where like, dude, like F you, like you're not gonna lose all that weight. Like I know, like I used to be so tunnel vision about it, where like this is the only way. But now it's like, okay, you know what? Awesome. You know, if you don't feel like this works for you, go for it. Feel free to try everything else, but know that I'm still gonna be here for you. So I used to take it so personally, but now it's like, you know, it's fine. I let it go. I kind of let it settle for them, and I let my results speak for itself, and my other clients speak for itself.
So, what, is there a difference between working for the supplement company and the coaching, or is this all in one?
I the coaching part is just myself, but the supplement is I'm partnered up with a company, to it's like an affiliate drop shipping program that we have.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I do partner up with a company for that. But in terms of coaching wise, it's on my own. In terms of the health and wellness coaching. In terms of tennis coaching, I do work for somebody. I'm actually building a tennis academy down here in SoCal. So it's a lot of like both business aspects, which is lovely, but I get to do two on one. Like, how can I boost everyone's athletic ability and athletic performance through supplements? Because I know these kids, they're not eating that well, and I try to like keep on track with it too. But of course, I don't focus on the kids, it's the parents. I see a lot of parents who they say, "Oh, I want my kid to get good. I want to do this for my kid." But I'm sorry to all parents out there that keeps telling me that you are not fit or you're not enough for your kid to be good because they see your habits, they copy your habits, and they bring it over to my coaching. And every time we go 2 steps forward, we're taking 10 steps back. And it always starts with the parents too. So I always try to really focus on the parents in terms of like, hey, you gotta get yourself in check too. Like I kind of nudge them, like not in a asshole way, but I kind of nudge them like, hey, you know, you want this for your kid, but you're not putting the effort in it. You're not taking them out to the park. You're always saying that you're tired. You're always saying that, oh, I got to do this, I got to do that, and not make time for it. So that's how I have the both worlds combined, which is really nice. How the tennis coaching and the health and wellness business come together. Um, but yeah.
So, what is a success story that you've had with parents?
Oh, I do have a lot of parents who got on the drops. They have lost 20 pounds in just over 30 days. But it's really focused. Like most of my kids who are good now is when the parents lost the weight and they're taking them out to the park. Like now I see more like, hey, the parents are taking out to the park, they're being more active with the kids. They're like, oh yeah, my kids are so good now. Like I get to spend time at the park with the kids. I get to run with them. I think the biggest aspect is like when as we become parents, I'm not sure if you're a parent, but as we become parents, we tend to like kinda lose it a little bit, like, we get so tired from our work. When they come home and the kids wanna play, we don't have the energy to play with them, and that brings into the tennis coaching aspect of, like, is my coach gonna do the same thing? Like, I know he's working a lot, like, is he gonna do the same thing? And so, that's why I started doing that so that the parents can see, like, "Hey, if I'm doing this for your kid, I think you should do it too." And you wanna be able to run with your kid as long as they're possible because time just goes by so fast that you don't want to like miss that. So I always tell the parents that a lot of like, hey, right now I think it's time for you to kind of step it up a little bit because I know how much you care about your kids. I know how much your kids care about you, but if you want your kids to get better, it starts with you too. It doesn't start with the kid, it starts with you too.
Have you had anyone sign up for your coaching based off of that?
So I usually go based off if they buy the drop, it's free coaching. It's automatic. But there are some parents that just sign up for the coaching by itself, which I'm totally fine with. Uh, but it's when their kids are taking classes from me, I kind of give it for free. I'm not a person who likes to charge a lot. I'm not that big of a fan. That's why I decided to go into coaching in the first place. Going back, rewinding, was that I didn't get the privilege to have tennis coaching in my life. I actually was coachless. And to be where I'm at now and the success I have now just came from pure grit, just pure hard work. And so I didn't get good overnight. I know it took a long time to get where I'm at. So I believe in really making everything fair in life and so that people are able to get the help that they need and not just, oh, I have to pay this much to really get the help I need.
I mean, there's a lot of free resources out there too, so people don't necessarily have to pay to get coaching, right?
Yeah,
There's plenty of free apps to get workouts. You can use free apps to track your food. There's a lot of like really simple ways to get resources in order to fix your habits. It's the coaching is to basically help people stay accountable.
right,
When it comes down to it, and then teaching them how to develop these habits based off of the habits that they currently have that they need to break. And so I would say coaching is more of a like the service and like
right.
the tools are out there. Anyone can grab those. Um, so okay, let's circle back. So we've talked like kind of a lot about where you are currently, but not so much of like what got you to the point you currently are. Where you're in this journey to lose this weight, to look better, to serve your clients better. So what was what was it that took you from being in decent shape to being overweight?
Wow. And I actually have to go back to last year. I'll be honest, because of the girl, my past relationship, I actually went through something called homelessness. I actually was homeless for 7 months last year, from January to July. And I was trying to rebuild everything. I was in debt. I lost everything. During that time, for some reason, I was still in the relationship. Even though I was homeless, I was still working towards the relationship, trying to fix it. But it came to a point where I knew I couldn't anymore. Like I was eating, I'll be honest, I was eating a lot of fast food. I was eating Wendy's, Jack in the Box, McDonald's, you name it all. Um, and that's how I gained the weight. I ended up sleeping in my van, so I had to find something convenient. I couldn't cook, so it was so easy
Were
to
you
go.
not active?
I would say I was active, but I was probably less active than anything else because I was so depressed. I was like, I felt alone. Like all I did was stay in the car. So that's where I felt safe at. I couldn't go to the gym. Like the only time I went to the gym was to work out a little bit, just to shower, so I don't look awkward, um, or use the bathroom. So that was during that time. It was harsh. I was depressed. I kept binge eating. It was just like boom, 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 and I also, as the time progressed, I actually end up being physically and mentally abused, and that was something that was my fine line. Was like, I can't be this anymore. Like, I can't sit into this relationship anymore because there's just no help. I can't if I can't help myself. How am I going to help that person? So still during that time, I was still eating fast foods, starved. There was some parts starving myself because I didn't have the money, but I was able to save up. And I think the biggest aspect of it is I told myself that I can't have this situation happen to me anymore. Like, I can't eat the fast food. I can't be poor. I can't be homeless anymore. And to anyone's out there that's listening to this, like, just imagine you're just being alone and you lost everybody. The people that you thought that was going to have your back, that you knew for 20 plus years, um, just left you. And the people that you're so ashamed and nervous about are the people who really care about you the most. And that's what I've learned through that journey. But during that journey, I did gain that weight. I gotta say, because of all that fast food, less active, um, suicidal thoughts. Um, it just made me feel like I just gotta keep eating to kind of mask everything. So That's exactly what it is.
Do
Like,
you drink or use any other substances, or was food the substance of choice?
I quit drinking actually. I used to be alcoholic. The first relationship, so I quit into the second relationship. So I used to use alcohol as such a big thing, but no. I didn't use drugs. I didn't use alcohol, but I use a lot of fast food. I love my burgers. I'll be honest. I love my Wendy burgers, my Baconators, my 5 for 5 or 4 for 5 or something like that. And I really enjoyed it. Um, but I kept masking it with food. It was just like left and right, and even eating late at night too. Before I sleep, I would like get a fat burger and large fries, large Coke, nuggets, like, and I would just eat that. And I felt like because I was eating late, I was gaining a lot more weight because I was just eating right before I slept. I didn't digest everything well. I didn't sleep well. I was a mess. As I gotta say, I was a very, very big mess. And I did find a place after saving up money. I did find a place in July, and this is all last year. I did find a place in July and stayed with them for 3 months. And luckily, they had a kitchen, so I was able to cook. I was able to get cleaner. So I did lose weight during that time because of it. Um, as I came down to SoCal, that's when everything changed because I love food and I lost control of myself a little bit there. Um, Still was at that 255, 254 range. Uh, but I made a decision back in February where I needed to lose weight. I felt like my knees were gonna shut down again. I felt like I was just losing it mentally. And so as I went on with it, officially when I really put my mind into it, it was like, okay, the decision of me losing weight needs to start now because now my kids are quitting on me because I'm fat. And that's really an eye opener for me. It's like parents are quitting because like why would I want a kid to have a fat coach or have no energy to his day? Why would I do that? And so that's when in April I was like, you know what? I need to lose this weight. I really need to. So I got into eating more whole foods. I got into using the drops correctly, eating correctly, but also going to the gym to really like work on my energy level. Also adding in up to adding my 10,000 steps a day. That was when I really opened my eyes of like, wow, I look different. I don't look like Igor, Baymax, and Shrek had a baby. But I definitely don't remember having a neck. Like every time my friend tells me, like my mentor, he goes, "Do you remember the day you didn't have a neck? Like your collar was like this?" And I'm like, yeah, I look at my old videos. I'm like, who is that? Like, is that really me? But the opening was actually last year of my homelessness, my abusive relationship, me getting cheated on. Um, and it really said it's either you can go two pathway, right? You can either get back up and really push towards it, or you can give up on life and say, like, this is it. And there was a point um I did. I downed myself with pills. I was like, you know what? I'm so done with this. I'm so done with life. I would call my mom. I would say my parents are divorced, and I would call my mom and I would cry. I couldn't talk, and I told my mom, "Mom, I want to give up. I wanted just to give up." And as much as she was fighting me on it, as much as like, "No, you can't," like it was just to that point where like I was so mentally drained, I was so physically drained and spiritually drained that I felt like that was it. Like I have never hit the lowest point in my life until last year. I had hit lowest points, but I had not dig a bigger hole in myself until last year, and that's last year's event. And so I really want to share with that with the audience because you may be going through those too, and it's okay to ask for help. It really is. I felt like that was the biggest aspect I didn't do was ask for help, and I got stuck into a longer cycle than I should have. But it was because I was so underneath the water and drowning that I didn't know how to get back up and ask for help. So I really want to open, my line, my Facebook, my Instagram to anyone who's going through this and need a open ears or a shoulder to lean on or someone to cry to. I'm super open to that. Because I know what it feels like to be alone. I know it feels like to lose everything and from money to friends to a lot of housing. Um, and I never thought in 27 years of my life I would ever have that. So, and I know it's a very unexpected event, but it really grew me stronger to this day to be able to serve other people and help other people. And that's always been my ultimate goal.
So, when it comes to asking for help, what would you have done differently? Who would you have reached out to?
I would say the people that I was ashamed and nervous about reaching out to, the people that I thought would judge me, are the people who didn't judge me. And then those people who I'm talking about is people who actually reached out to me first. They felt like I don't know if you had the instinct of like maybe you had a close friend or someone you worked with in the last 5 years, and you have this instinct like something's really off about this guy. Like sometimes I need to just call him and check up on him. That was the people that actually reached out to me. So I do shout them out, you know. It was really important for me during that time to get back on my feet because they reached out to me like, dude, what is going on? Like, what's happening? I just feel something's off about you. Like, can you really tell me? And then as I got to there, it really opened the door to me to really share what was going on. And that was what I would do differently is ask the people who you feel nervous and ashamed about is because those people really care about you at the end of the day. They don't care if it's business. They don't care if it's like anything like that besides money or anything like that. They care. They really care about you and they want you to be taken care of.
When it comes to knowing, like, or sorry, being like kind of ashamed and to talk to these people, what was it that was going through your head that made you feel like ashamed and like I can't talk to these people?
These were my former mentors or my former coaches that I felt like I let them down. I really did. When I actually started this 5 years ago, being partners with them, I actually left for hiatus because of this girl. I met the girl through this business. And I felt like after that, I felt really ashamed and nervous about it because I was like, man, I really screwed up. I really screwed up that relationship. I really let them down. That's what I was ashamed about because I let them down. I left the business or I left the partnership for a little bit, but now I'm with them again. But in terms of that, like I was ashamed because I felt I let people down. That was my biggest aspect. In terms of taking things personally, when it comes to working with people, partnering up with people, I the biggest hate I hate or my pet peeve is letting people down, like not working hard enough. And that time
Mhm.
I felt like I let people down. I felt like I let them down. I felt like I let my parents down. I felt like I let my siblings down. And I was so ashamed to talk to them. Or I let my family in Hawaii down, my grandma, my aunts. I let them down because I decided to make a decision that they already told me not to do. And that was the biggest aspect of it. And that's why I was so ashamed and nervous about talking to them because I did something that they already told me not to do. They felt like it was not going to work out. And I did it anyways.
Was this are you referring to the move with the girl?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. But
I kind of put the pieces
yeah,
together.
yeah, yeah. It was because of the move to California. And I know I explained it correctly. I did explain it the way I did it, but because the girl was in the picture, they didn't see the other side of it. And yes, I was attracted to it. I was like, okay, you know what? It was a big nudge. Like 30% of it was because of her and 70% was because I wanted to move. But because she was in the picture, everyone saw it that way. And it's okay. You know, I told myself it's okay. Like it's already over now. I'm very, very happy that it's over now. And I'm in a very, very wonderful relationship right now. And she's absolutely amazing. Um, and I gotta say, that's not the reason why I moved to SoCal. Okay, I'm gonna clear the table a little bit. That's
Or
not the
wait a
reason.
minute, is this a cycle?
Well, yeah, the reason why I moved to SoCal was I wanted to start a new chapter. I told myself that I needed to get away from all that toxic, negative environment that I was in. Always looking behind my back to like worry if she's gonna attack me from somewhere because, as I said, she wasn't in the right mental space. So I didn't want her to chase my car down or chase me down or chase the people I know down. And it really ran through my mind was like, do I have to look behind my back? Do I have to make sure like at my workplace my boss knows in case she comes and like tell them that I'm not here or she hunts me down? And it really it made me afraid. It made me afraid because I just I'm so tired of being abused where like I just didn't want to deal with it anymore. And so I told myself, I think it's time to start a new chapter in my life and try something new, you know? And
Yeah.
I'll be honest, that's the time I quit coaching. I was like, you know what? I'm done with tennis coaching. I'm so done with this. I'm going to go back into the business. I'm going to do something else. And some way, somehow, I am back on tennis coaching. I'm towards building a tennis academy and really working towards that goal. It's not even out of like feeling like it's a job. It feels like it's a hobby that I get excited to be at work because all the kids I know are me mentoring them, not just in tennis, but in life too.
So you what led up to the whole tennis academy thing? So this is something you haven't mentioned yet. So tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so, one day I was at the tennis courts and I was like, "Man, I need to go to a tennis shop because 'cause I'm still competing and I needed my equipment." So I walked in, super nice guy actually, very I'm happy I'm working at this place. It is a tennis shop, but there's a tennis court behind it. And we had the most monotone conversation ever. It was like, "Hey, you coach back there?" So I asked him, I was like, "Are you coaching back there?" He goes, "Yeah." And he goes, "Are you a coach?" I'm like, "Yeah." "Do you want to work here?" "Yeah, I'll start next week." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool." Like you're like, "Thanks, man." Like, but it built up that relationship where I was talking to him and I was explaining like what my background is. And then it come up to like, "Hey, I want to build a tennis program here in SoCal. How can I do it?" And so that's actually how it started where I'm in it right now is his wife is his right-hand man or right-hand woman, and I'm his left-hand man. And it's really nice that the bond that we're building and the connection that we have to grow the program. Yes, I'm starting from scratch. I'm starting from zero again, which excites me because this time I'm not having someone who's greedy. I'm having someone who really wants to help kids get better and not charge an arm and a leg for it. So that's the exciting part of it. But yes, I'm in the building of a tennis academy or tennis program down here in Buena Park in SoCal, and it's still in works. It's very very messy, but it's a nice journey to have again because it's like I think this is my third time, my fourth time building a tennis program, and I've been success 3 times, so I know I can do that again. But I know in SoCal, it's the capital of tennis, so I know I'm in a big competition. But if I know I can do it here, what other opportunities can I have now, like later on? So that's what I'm excited about.
How many other, academies are kind of in that area that you're in and so
There is 5, I believe. Where in
oh,
my area, there's like in the proximity of 20-mile radius, there is 12, 13. So we're
so
competing
there's a
like
lot.
there's a lot. And they're of course they have their names. Of course they have, they're already built from the long time ago, but why not make something new and make something different?
So what makes you special and stand out compared to the other 12 academies near you?
The biggest aspect is that being partnered with them and being partnered with his wife used to be top 100 in the world. So you have that experience of someone who's professional on tour, and then you have the professional coach who's been on coaching for 11 years nonstop, got to his highest level coaching, got to coach on the tour for a little bit. So you have those two partnerships. But the biggest aspect of what we have that other programs don't have is the care factor, the kindness, the love that we have for our kids. It's not just, hey, come to the tennis camp and then leave. It's come to the tennis camp, create a community for them, create where like they can call themselves their home, and then they're able to play with each other outside. They have the coach that goes to tournaments, which is what I do is every Sunday. Yes, I work 7 days a week. I go to tournaments and I coach. I get there and I support them, and that's the care that they need. Most of these kids are young. They want to see their coach at their tennis tournament, and that was the biggest aspect of why I need to lose weight was these kids. They like to play long games. They really like to play long games, and I'm standing for a long time. So if I'm heavy and my legs are just shaking over there because I'm too heavy on top, the kid's gonna be like, "Do I really want him as my coach anymore? Because he's getting kind of lazy over there." Um, but
Can't keep up.
and keep up with me. Like I'm running around, and he can't do that either. So, that's the biggest aspect why we're so different from others. But also any kids that need a nutrition program because we have someone who's in there that item. We have that too, and we also have mental coaching too. We have someone who's who's working on a psychology degree who does mental tennis coaching also. So you have kind of like the whole circle, and not just the tennis aspect of it.
Do most of them only have the tennis aspect of it?
Yes, most of them just have the tennis, like, you get there, you sign up, you pay the money, and then you do the coaching, and then goodbye, next person, right? That's what I've noticed a lot lately, and but also the care to the kids, it's not there. And I have kids who switch over to us because we have that care. They're like, "Dude, honestly, Coach Peter, like, you're super cool, you're super chill, like, you don't just care about me on the court, you care about, like, what's happening outside of it, like the school, the family." Like, some of my tennis lessons, I'll be honest, is a therapy session. I sit down there for an hour and I listen to them. Some of them is on the court, some of them is on the chair, you know? So, that's what makes us different is that as coaches, the care needs to be there. We gotta be their mentor, we gotta be like another figure to them. Like, especially my kids in Hawaii, to this day, I still get it's funny because they call me dad. They don't call me coach. So I get like Happy Thanksgiving, Dad, or Merry Christmas, Dad, or Happy Birthday, Dad. I'm like, guys, I'm only like 7 years older than you. Like, chill. Like, give me a break. Like, don't make me feel old, okay? But no, it's really nice to really see the impact I do for these kids, but also to the parents. Like, to show the parents that I do care about your kids. We do care here, and that we want your kids to strive even better on on the tennis court and off the tennis court.
So what does your program typically look like?
So we have, that one-on-one lessons, and then we have our Saturday class, which we're trying to grow that younger part of it where they grow as we call it the green dot. Yeah, there's like color balls too. But as we grow, we want to build a new generation of it. Like, yes, we have our high schoolers, we have our profession, like the tournament players. But my biggest focus right now, our biggest focus is getting those 8, 9, 10 year olds to go to tournaments, to experience it, but also be a community. So my aspect is I get there, I coach, but we play games. We enjoy each other. We have laughters. We have, yes, I shouldn't be saying this, but we have candy at the end because kids thrive on candy, right? So, healthy candy. But
There's
that's
no such thing. It's just
no,
sugar.
there's not like pure sugar. Um, but it's really nice to really see the aspect of the kids of them going to the going to the court and getting exciting about it. Like I feel like that's what hits me the most is like every time I look, they're always like, Coach, like across the parking lot. I swear to God, like across the parking lot, Coach Peter, are you coming today? I'm like, guys, I'm right here. Like, chill. Like, let me get myself together. But it's nice because I also run with them too. It's not like, oh, they run by themselves. I'll give them tasks like, oh, like, hey, if you hit this much ball over, I'll do like 10 push-ups. Like I'll put my fitness into it too. So they know like, oh yeah, Coach Peter's been training. Like, okay, he's not fat anymore. I get it. Okay. Um, but that's what my day-to-day looked like. Like it's not just me telling him what to do. It's if I tell him what to do, I better do it too. I better be able to do it too. So I believe in that. I
Well,
believe in not
just kind
hypocrite.
of circles back to what
Yeah,
we were talking about earlier. Like you have to fit the part, right? You can't
right.
tell somebody to do something and you're not willing to do it.
Correct.
You got to live it. So when it comes to getting like advertisement, right? Like marketing and advertising for your academy, how do you go about that? Do you go to the schools? Because you said you mostly work with high school kids, right?
Yes, so I mostly work every age. So we have the youngest as
Oh,
I had the youngest of 5 and the oldest of 18 and adults. But in terms of advertisement, the awesome part is because we're a tennis shop also, and we're actually number 4, I believe, in SoCal, in Irvine area, in the OC area. So we get people coming in and out. But the biggest aspect is how to advertise it is because I'm always there during the tournament and I go with the kids to tournaments. That's my free advertisement. Is my kids are winning. I'm not lying. My kids are winning. They won 7, 8 tournaments in a row. So it tells me that okay, my program is good for the kids to be winning, or my kids are hitting top 3 because 1, 2, 3 are my kids. So it really shows that advertisement of like what program we're building, especially as the younger ones. That's the hardest program to build. The older ones, super easy. They have the base down, they have the strategy down, but it's the young ones that if you know how to build the young ones, it's so much easier to build an academy. So that's the biggest aspect of advertisement is I get to be out there, I get to talk to parents and say, hey, that's my student. I coach him on a daily basis and he's winning, right? So really opening that up to
so you keep it more authentic. Just kind
authentic
of like as you talk
relationship.
to people, they see the work and then go from there. So where do you see this going as a business, as you're building it? This is the fourth one you've done, obviously the one that you're most excited about. You feel the best overall about. So where do you want to see this going? Where do you and your business partners want to see it going? As that relationship still feel very, very solid?
I do feel like the relationship is always going to get tighter every single day as we go on. We talk on a daily basis. I see them them on a daily basis. So we do see our program building to where we have to hire more coaches or we have to get more tennis courts or we have to build a facility. Right now I know we're using city courts right now and I know as we build up to it we're going to need more tennis courts and so that was something we're talking about too of like finding a bigger facility or buying out another tennis academy so that we're able to have that tennis courts for ourselves and not worry about looking for one. So that's the biggest aspect that I'm aiming for right now. And the excitement is always going to be there, especially as I talk to them and they know because I'm also looking the part. making sure that I'm still fit, that I can keep up with the kids, keep up with the business, but also being able to go out there and be authentic, you know? I feel like that's the biggest different parts too is I'm more personal when it comes to advertisement compared to other tennis academies where they post on the website,
Mhm.
they say that they played this level, but then they don't show up and show it, right? So it's a whole big different aspect
Yeah.
of it. Is I'll go out there and you ask me to hit with your kid and your kid is good, I'll show you that I can do it. So it's almost like being authentic, creating that relationship and creating that connection.
When it comes to finding these tennis courts, because you said you have to find them throughout the city, right? Is that kind of hard? I'm not very familiar with where you're at exactly in LA. Like, I'm familiar with some parts, but, like, most not so much, especially the way everyone references the neighborhoods and stuff.
Right.
So, uh, but is the parks there pretty nice, or is it harder to find, like, the nice ones based off of who they let live in the parks?
So the best part is really partnering up with cities and really showing the city that we are trying to build a community here. That's the biggest aspect. But also because it's so new, like other people go to other places. And so my goal is to get them back into the community and somewhere closer for them to be able to have that and to be able to be more efficient with it and easier for them, convenience for them. So to be honest, it's not that hard. It's more of getting more people to be open about, hey, this is something new here, and then we're going back to it. So that's what the aim is.
So what is the goal when it comes to these parks? And, some of them probably need to be cleaned up, and the city's got to get involved in order to open these up to the public to have these events and be safe and enjoy enjoyable for, like, the families and everything. So what is the plan to work with the cities to get these where they need to be so you can do more of this within the community?
Luckily, the courts aren't that bad, but if we do need court cleanup, that one of us will go out there and we'll clean up. We'll sweep it up. We'll pull the leaf blower out, making sure it's safe for the kids. So we kind of do our part too. Like, hey, the city is our home, and we treat each tennis court that we're out there like our home. So make sure it's clean. We make sure it's safe. If we need something, we ask the city to really fund it. Because we're helping the city out too, because they also get a cut from what we have too. So it's not like we get the whole thing because hey, we're trying to help the city out, the city's helping us out. Of course, there should be a split margin there. But we do our part as tennis coaches too to make sure that each tennis court that we're on, we treat it like our home.
So that cut that they get, is that like a donation to the park, or how does that work? Is that
It goes,
revenue for the city?
it goes to the city. I think it goes into the park so that in case that money that they get can fix up whatever we need. So it's really nice.
Okay.
So it kind of goes back.
So it all comes back.
Yeah, it's like
Okay.
this cycle, so it's not too bad. I think about, oh, yeah, we gotta split with the city, but at the same time, like it's just gonna cycle back. And it's like go back to the community. That's what we're aiming for. So to show the community, like, hey, we here, we care about the courts. We're trying to help you guys out. We're trying to clean it, make sure it's nice so that it's safe for everyone to play on.
So do you guys do any events and things outside of, like, the competitions and stuff you have at the courts, like fundraisers and things like that, to kind of help grow and keep these community events going, building building community within the community, right? Like, bringing people together. Is there events that you guys hold, or are there any that you plan on holding or getting into?
I definitely see us planning on it. We haven't held any yet, but we're definitely planning on the future to really show the community that, hey, we're here now and that you don't have to go anywhere else. And the care that we're giving them is top notch care. And and then it's community where like, hey, all kids are in one area. You don't have to drive 20 minutes to go play with somebody else, but we have a directory where everyone's in one place. So that's what one of our future events that we're gonna hold.
Okay. And when do you see yourself, like, putting that to action? Or is that something that's in the works currently, or is this something like maybe 6 months, a year down the road?
I would say within 6 months. So in the next 6 months, that's what we're in the planning right now of what the event's gonna be, what's gonna look like, which school we're gonna partner up with, which organization we're gonna partner up with this so that we're able to have a more voice out there. So it's in the planning. It's definitely in the planning. I'm looking at about 6 months to a year from actually doing our first event. But it's just definitely getting excited planning for it. I know it takes time to plan for one, but every time I think about it, it gets really excited for it.
What about getting involved in the schools? Is that kind of a goal at all? I don't know how much tennis really gets played in school anymore, but
It definitely is. That's what my ultimate aim is. I know as we're in summer break, I can't really do as much, but my next aspect as August, September comes around, then that's when I'm actually going to be talking to elementary schools and middle school and high school around us to be able to give that opportunity to them, say, hey, we have something here. We want to be able to make sure that the kids get the exercise they need, especially nowadays, because they have their phones, their iPads, their gaming, computer. But yeah, well, we're definitely working on partnering up with schools too, as in the near future. And I think it's going to probably start when they get back into school.
would it be smart to start that before they get back into school so that way you kind of can like initiate something at the beginning of the school year? Or is this something that maybe you're just going to talk about this year and then hopefully initiate it like the s- uh, second half of the year or maybe the following?
So the goal is to talk it in the fall, really gather in the fall and to start in the spring. So that's our ultimate goal because spring is where tennis always the heaviest. Fall is where it's the slowest. So we want to build towards the spring.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay. So, all right, we've covered a lot. I feel like I just keep asking a
Yep.
million questions.
I really enjoy it because, like I said, we love the raw, right? Everyone I think loves the raw, authentic self, and we're just talking, we're just chatting. That's what it is.
Yeah. So okay, so we've covered, your tennis, the academy and what you're building right now, your coaching, the supplements, your journey. Is there anything else you want to touch base on?
Honestly, in terms of my journey, I want to really share more about it. I feel like yes, I've hit the lowest point last year, but that's not the only lowest point I hit, as I went through my journey last turning 28 this year, 28 years. I was like, how old am I this year? 28 this year. Uh, I'll be honest, like I've been down where I've committed suicide. I attempted and almost successfully did it. Um, Senior year of high school and when my parents got divorced. And as we go through our journey, so for people out there, and why am I sharing this is we're all going to go through that journey, the journey of negativity, the journey of people talking bad about you, talking crap about you. Um, I wanted to really share that if I can get back from my feet from all those situations and I would say not ask for as much help as I need. I'm not saying that you should be doing the same. You should really be asking for help because I feel like that's something I really want to say that I learned from my lesson is all three situations I should have asked for help. All three situations I should have reached out to people. And a lot of us as we grow up, people say, oh, asking for help is a sign of weakness. To be honest, it's a sign of strength. It's very hard to ask for help. And I've learned it the hard way. And I wish I didn't learn the hard way, but it's okay. That's what I teach my students now is every time they feel down, every time I feel like they're off or something, I always ask them, are you okay? Can we talk about something? Like, is there something that you need to talk about? So to all the viewers, to all the listeners out there, don't be afraid to ask for help because it's the only way you're going to succeed in your journey, but also be able to enjoy your journey even more because there are people out there that care about you more than you think, and don't be ashamed and nervous about them even though you felt like you failed them, even though you felt like you're like, oh, I don't know if I should talk to them because I'm not worth it. They're the ones that's going to care about you the most. And so I really want to share that and really share that I'm very open to all the listeners and viewers out there to really talk to them. I want to build connections with everybody, a relationship. Nothing towards business, nothing towards that, but I just want to make more friends. I want to be able to create a network where a community where people feel that they can be loved, they can be cared, and they can share kindness. So I want to kind of end off with that.
So with that, do you plan on like starting like a Facebook group? Is there any type of community that you want to do to bring people together on this, have a support system? Is there a plan for that?
I'm actually on work on that. I do want to create a Facebook group. I do have a Facebook community group that I already created. That's towards the health and wellness side, but I do want to create a group where they can feel the support, they can create friendship, group chats on Instagram or is it called community? I think there's a community version on broadcast on Instagram that they can use and
Yep.
Facebook that I really want to create. So as I meet new people and hear them out, that's when I'm really gonna create that groups for them so they're able to have a place that's safe, that they can feel heard, but they can also feel like, hey, like I can do this too because everyone else is doing it. So motivation.
So we'll be seeing that in the next 6 months then too, right?
It will. It will be. I love that. I love the accountability. I love accountability. I enjoyed that.
I love deadlines.
I I love it too. I used to be so personal about this. I was like, ah, dang it, like procrastination. But now it's like, if I do things now and I start things now, I don't have to like stress about it later on. So can't go wrong with that.
I always like to start my day by doing the thing that I least want to do, because then it's done and I can do everything else without having to worry about this one thing that I keep putting off because I don't want to do it.
I I definitely agree with you. Like to me, it's the gym. Sometimes I have to wake up early. I'm just joking. I love the gym. I'm just joking. But I sometimes I feel like getting out of, especially it depends on what the night before is. I'm like, oh, like the gym. But then because I have someone that goes with me now and he's like, I want to work out, I want to lose weight. Like it's nice because it's accountability to each other. Like, okay. Like today, I'll be honest, I woke up at 3 in the morning to go to the gym with him because he had an early call for work. I'm like, dude, why? And at the same time, like, you know what? This feels good because at 3 o'clock in the morning, the gym feels like a personal gym. Like, there's nobody there. You can do whatever you want. You can have the machine. There's no waiting time. And then from there, I do my 5 mile walk because I like to walk and work and focus on personal development in the morning to set my day. So it's a nice start of the day actually. No, but the gym is not the hardest thing. I'll be honest. Like it's not.
Well, like that's my favorite part of the day.
That's what I do in the morning. I do my favorite thing in the morning, it's gym, and everything else is like, like, no. But honestly, I feel like there's not really, to me, when I look at aspects of my work and what I do, I don't think there's anything hard about it. The hard thing is doing it. I feel like that's the biggest part. Is a lot of us, the hardest part is like, oh, they're like, oh, this is so hard. But I'm like, dude, it's just because you haven't done it yet. Like you haven't took the first 2 steps in yet. So you may not know if it's hard or not. So that's how I look at things now.
Sometimes, I mean, more like when I say the hardest thing, I'm talking about like making a phone call that you don't want to make. You know, it's not even necessarily like a hard task. It's
Yeah.
just something you don't want to do. And it's just like, ugh, you know?
I feel like phone calls are the worst. I don't know why. Sometimes like I'm not a phone call. Well, I used to be a phone call person. I used to be like, okay, I hate texting. It's taking too long. But now it's like that one phone call, like, oh, I have to call like my car dealership to bring the car in, but they take 20,
Or a
30 minutes.
doctor.
Or the doctor. I'm like, what? I definitely know what you mean now. I definitely understand now. I got you. I got you.
Yeah, that's more what I meant. Like, if you got to make like a phone call, because nobody wants to make those. Although I am that person that, like, if it's too much to text, I will call.
Yeah.
Most of the time, nobody answers.
I agree. I do that too.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah. So I think overall, the best thing can be taken from this whole podcast is fixing your mindset and keeping yourself healthy.
The physical health is always going to affect the mental health in such a big way. It really is. And I think that's really what I like to share is I used to be so ashamed of my body. I'll be honest. I used to be so ashamed of my body. I used to feel so ugly. And now it's like, oh, I have that? Like, I didn't know I had abs, Like, like what's that popping? But honestly, I think the biggest aspect of it is really mindset shift and the journey, enjoying your journey.
And really, I mean, yes, health and fitness is hard when you first start. It's hard to learn, it's hard to get into. But once you genuinely know what to eat, that's pretty simple. I mean, you especially I do highly recommend people track their food, and the reason for that is so that way you know what you're consuming, right?
Right.
So then when you do eat a plate out for dinner, you know like, okay, so I have about, 50 grams of carbs in this mashed potatoes or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, you know what you're getting and what you're putting into your body. If you decide to eat a whole pie, you know
Oh,
that that's like
yeah.
5,000 calories. You know what I mean? Like, so you know that going into it. So it's definitely a skill to learn and to understand. And then the physical side of it, I mean, after you do a couple weeks, it gets easier. It gets more
It is.
routine. You get more energy. It's just those first couple weeks, maybe a month, depending on how like far off you are. But like once you get into the routine, it really does build like you you start to build a habit, you start to feel better, you start to see results, you start to get hyped. The energy levels just alone, even without supplements or anything else, just from moving your body. Most people sit all day long.
I agree. I tell people that too, like, you guys not like to use the bathroom or something like that? Like, why do we sit so long? Like, I I'll be honest, like, I work at home too. I do part of it on my business. I do work at home, and every like I kind of break down my time. So every hour, what do I do? Like, okay, 30 minutes of sitting on my chair, 15 minutes of walking around with my phone, and then 15 minutes like doing push-ups or something like that, or sit-ups, like to add in, or doing jumping jacks to add in like to my activeness, and I go back and do it again. So it's like I get my activity in. Even though I gym in the morning, even though I walk in the morning, I walk at night, I still add it in because I just feel like, well, my body feels good. So why not give it more feel to it?
And like, for me, I bought a walking so I live in Vegas and it's hot in the summertime. So I work from home primarily and like I usually would go for like a walk in the morning with the dog, go work out, and then I would take an afternoon one after lunch and then I would take one in the evening. But now that it's like 110 degrees, that's the last thing I want to do. So I have a walking pad with like a small little desk that I can walk on.
Oh, like a treadmill thing, right? Like that
Yeah,
right,
it's like a treadmill without the top.
right. I am like I want to invest in that. That's my next investment. After the standing desk, because I don't have my standing desk anymore because I moved here. But in Hawaii I did, and I had exactly what you're talking about. Like I had the setup. I would just walk, especially during COVID. Oh my gosh. Oh,
Oh, yeah. I built a home gym during that time.
I wish I did, but it's okay.
Um,
So
the walking pad though,
yeah,
check on, Facebook Marketplace for one. I got one for like 30 bucks, and then I, like, just bought, like, a little, like, small desk for, like, 30 bucks on Amazon that
yeah.
moves up and down.
Oh, see? It's all about taking steps, guys. It's all about taking
A
steps.
and it doesn't even have to be expensive. There's ways to do these things without having to spend a crap ton of money.
Right. That's what I
So,
there you go.
find all the tricks, all of them.
That's what we're here for. That's exactly why we're helping people. It's because we don't want people to spend too much money, but we also want to show people like there's a lot of tricks out there that you guys can do to be healthier.
Yep.
It starts with you though. It starts with you.
Oh, yeah, and it starts with how you think, like, how much you want, like, to change, what your goals are. Do you really want those goals? Because if you don't, you're not gonna work on them,
Correct.
and that's what it comes down to. I don't ever believe when somebody says I can't, because that's crap. So, that's crap. That means you don't want to.
Because every time they use that in my court, I'm like, get out. Come back when you can. Get out. Not in my court. Get out. Like I'm very blunt with it. Like that's why parents love me. It's because I'm very straightforward, but I know what their goals are, so I can't let them like slide. It's just what it is. Like I just can't
Yep.
let it slide. So I'll be like, oh, I can't do this, coach. Get out. Like go to the door. Go take a impression.
But that's what people need,
Yeah.
especially teenagers, but just people in general. They need that accountability, they need that truth, and sometimes they just need you to be bluntly honest.
Right.
And sometimes it'll hurt their feelings, but if they really want to change, they'll understand that hard criticism that you're throwing at them and that hard truth is what they need to hear because they're not going to make a change if you keep telling them, "Oh no, you're perfect the way you are." No, you're not. Fix it. It's fine. We're all imperfect. We all have things to work on. I've worked on a lot of stuff and I still got a long way to go.
Yes. We're always gonna be on that journey, but it's how bad we want to do it. So I'm excited to see people's journey as we continue. I'm excited to see your journey. I we follow each other on Facebook, Instagram, so I got you. I'll keep you accountable.
Oh, I'm gonna be like, "Where's your Facebook group?"
There we go. See, that's the best part of it. Teamwork. Teamwork makes the dream work. That's what it is.
Yes, yes. Love it. So real quick before we wrap up, because now I'm curious, where at in so like in LA are you exactly? Because I don't really know. Like I have so for example, the office that I work for is in Studio City. So I know that area a little bit.
I live by Knott's Berry Farm.
I don't know where that is either.
Oh, Knott's Berry Farm is? Oh gosh. Uh Portals, Knott's Berry Farm. Let's see what else is around my area. I live 20 minutes west from Disneyland. I don't know if that makes sense. You don't know Disneyland.
Okay.
Okay.
That's a little bit further south, right? Like, that's
Yeah,
closer to, like, Orange County a little bit,
I'm in
like,
OC.
north of
I'm in
Orange
Orange
County?
County. I don't know why I said anyway.
Okay.
I'm in Orange County.
Yeah, see, if you woulda said Orange County, I would've known.
I'm in Orange County. There we go. I keep forgetting
Like,
there's
what?
Orange County and there's OC. It's almost like you go to North County, they're like, oh, I live in San Francisco, but you're not really in San Francisco. I keep forgetting about that. Like in Hawaii, we just say I live in Hawaii, and people always think it's Hawaii. So I just
Yeah, because there's a bunch of islands and they
yeah,
just call it all Hawaii.
Hawaii. So that's what it is. No, I live in Orange County.
Okay.
So if you ever come down here,
Okay.
let's do it. Like maybe an in-person podcast. We'll see. Hey,
Yeah,
I'm in Toronto,
maybe.
or if I'm up in
I got a
Vegas.
pretty yeah, either way. We're not that far. I actually do we do go to LA quite a bit.
There we go. That's what it
Okay.
is.
Well, do you want to leave us with a message? I know you already kind of did, but do you wanna leave another one?
I think that would be a message. Oh, actually, I do have another message. Um,
Okay.
to people out there, be kind to other people because we may not know what they've been through, and so don't go out there and bashing people, or don't go out there and share negativity, but put on a smile because that could change someone's day. I've realized that. I've noticed that when I walk, especially as I walk and I see people kind of like grumpy and I throw a smile on, they're like, "Oh, I feel a lot better." And we may not know what they gone through the whole day, and that's something that hit me the other day while I was listening to personal development is just be kind out there, show people love because people really need it right now, especially how the world is right now, guys. The war, immigration, people really need that love and kind and care right now.
One act of kindness can go a long way.
It does.
All right, well, we'll wrap it up. Thanks, guys. Till next time.